Hey guys, are you ready for our live stream? It's a super exciting week for me. And for many of you, for about 5 or 6,000 of you, we've got a special week happening, guys. It is Rep Fest weekend. We are almost there, almost ready to go. I know some of you have even packed already. I know I saw some pictures online of you guys packing. I am that person who's going to pack at 12 p.m. the night before I have to leave. So stay tuned for that midnight post for I have just started my packing post. How are you guys tonight? How has your week been? What are you up to? What are you celebrating? What are you looking forward to this weekend? Um, Tonight we're going to be talking about our transition into RepFest. We're just a few days away. It's this weekend. But a couple of us are arriving early. Some of us are just starting the packing early. But we are starting to make some adjustments and some arrangements. So tonight we're actually going to be talking about how we can manage our businesses, to keep our business moving when we're on the go, when we're moving. And I am a person who is constantly on the go. I've got a little desk space. I've got a little recording area in my house slash makeup station slash computer station slash workstation slash bedroom. so, so for me, I know personally, I always have a lot going on. So personally, I find that having a business and having the ability to have my business and run my business on the go is a huge perk. And it was one of the things that I didn't really realize at first when I got into my Avon business. At first, when I started, I was looking for the flexibility. But as my business evolved and grew with me, I realized that it's more than just flexible hours. It's also really flexible in how you run it and how you can manage your business. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit tonight, but you guys know the drill. Every Tuesday night when we get together here at 8 p.m. for our Ants Live training, we talk about our wins for the week. So get going in the chat box. Let's talk about the things that you're celebrating, the things that you worked on and done and accomplished, that you kicked butt at between last week, Tuesday, and today, so that we can celebrate with you, because here we are an Avon family. We are like hashtag one team, one Avon. So Patty McRoberts, numero uno in the chat box. I really should have prizes for like the first one here every Tuesday night. But if we did, Patty would be the winner. We don't. So Patty, don't look for anything other than a hug when I see you at breakfast this weekend. Miss Patty is asking if I found some pink. Okay, so on Friday, our conference, I think that's actually the first official day of our conference. We're having a pink day. You guys might know that Avon has already become the numero uno national sponsor of the American Cancer Society. First time ever. That's just Avon. Hashtag first timers. But they've always been a huge sponsor of breast cancer awareness, and most recently for domestic violence. But that was another reason why I joined Avon initially and why I was so excited to be a part of this company. But because of Avon's huge support of breast cancer awareness, they've partnered with the American Cancer Society. And Friday, our first day of conference, we're doing a huge pink extravaganza. So we're gonna be rocking the town of Columbus, Ohio, all pink everywhere. It's going to be awesome. So all of us representatives, male and female, regardless of what you are, in honor and support of breast cancer awareness, we're going to be all decked out in pink. So we're going to have a little bit of October not domestic violence, pink ribbon, cancer awareness in the middle of July. What are we in now? July? Yes. So I'm looking forward. It's going to be really fun. But I put a post on my social media page on my Facebook this morning saying, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to find anything pink? Do I own anything pink? Will I be able to put together a pink outfit? Now, Miss Patty, starting trouble. I used to have the cutest pair of pumps, and I don't know if it's still here. Because I am a destroyer of things. And I was looking for them. I couldn't find them. So I said to the guys, looks like I'm gonna have to go on a shopping spree. I'm thinking pair of pink pumps. I gave up. One of my summer resolutions was to cut down on my shopping for anything other than Avon, because I wanted to be more responsible with my finances, and I wanted to make sure that I was shopping with companies that were, you know, big in community, that are giving great prices, that great prices but a good value, and that are you know, committed to community affairs and wellness and all the good stuff. So I decided to cut my spending down to rein it in to just Avon products. And if it wasn't from Avon, and by spending I mean like clothing and shoes and jewelry and purses, but mostly clothing. If I couldn't get it from Avon, then I would make it. So when we brought up this pink topic, we were all starting to talk about, okay, well, what are we gonna wear that's pink? And I was like, well, okay, shopping spree. I'm gonna have to go out and buy a whole bunch of pink stuff. And then I remembered my summer resolution to not buy a bunch of not buy a bunch of clothing in general. And I said, should I be making a pink skirt? Now I do have these pink curtains as a backdrop. So maybe I'll just tear them down, cut them up, and make a skirt. I was honestly thinking that on the way home this morning, because I was like, by the time I get to the fabric store, pick up fabric, get matching thread, buttons, clasps, zippers, and all the whole nine, I'm not gonna have time to make a skirt before we have to leave for conference. So if you guys see me walking around in my curtains, you know what happened. Uh, but I do have some pink swag, and I wanted to share. Let me just grab all these goodies. But Miss Renee had sent me, sorry, not Mr. Renee. Where's Miss Renee's stuff? I had a whole bunch of stuff here that I wanted to share because it's sort of like an inside joke, our lack of pink as Avon representatives. But oh no, I don't have them here. So Miss Renee had sent me a whole box of some pink goodies a while back, and I like bandanas and um books and notepads and all that good stuff. We do the breast cancer walk here in New York. I missed the last year, but me and my sister were planning to walk. So we picked up, let me grab, see if I can grab this without causing a disaster. We had pink bandages. So these are, my sister had picked this up for us because I'm not a walker. I'm not really an exercise kind of person, but my sister had picked up pink bandage, elastic support bandages in pink. So I said, push come to shove, I could, you know, wrap a limb in some pink. I was, I'm big on breast cancer awareness as well. So I have pink bandanas. These were given out to us at an event that I did in September. So I found pink bandanas, kind of like a really hot pink. It almost looks red on TV, but on the screen. But it's a really cute pink bandana that was given out at an event that I was participating in. It's more of a scarf, like a head wrap kind of scarf. So okay, I have a scarf. We also have the pink Skin So Soft scarves. I had I have found some stuff. More pink scarves. I think I am okay when it comes to pink scarves. I got some pink blazers, um, things like that. But even looking around my room, in terms of stuff, I've got no lack of pink stuff. My problem is like fashion items. I've got, you know, our usual Avon pink t-shirts. I was actually wearing a couple this past weekend when we were doing our recruiting events. Our team t-shirts, even though they're black with white lettering, they do have pink accents for all of the feature items that show what our company is involved in. The products that we have are breast cancer awareness cause interests. So I will find some pink, Patty. There is pink. It's just a matter of putting it all together. But you know, subconsciously, we all just want to do a shopping spree. And I was like, darn it, I wish I had seen this before because I would have just gotten into the Avon catalog and picked out a whole bunch of pink stuff. Because you guys know we have it. But yeah. So Patty, I will be finding some pink, and I will be rocking that pink. I will not show up out of pink. But I'm looking forward to that event because it's nice to have so many representatives show up to an event and be in support of such a great cause. And again, that just gives me another feeling of why I love being a part of this business. So enough about the pink. Let's jump over to our win. So Miss Patty is celebrating a new promoter on her team and 4 new representatives this week. Congratulations to you, Miss Patty. Aren't you guys loving this new Share the Love incentive? I love it because it's giving a lot of people the opportunity to get started with the business who, were maybe saving up for the $25 starter kit. Now they can get in, get some products, get to experience the products, and get some really great samples to boot. So we did a video, I believe now it's maybe 2 weeks ago, where I shared some of the items that are coming in that starter kit, and people are loving it. A couple of the people on my team who got started this weekend or last weekend got their kit last week, so we've been starting to go through and review the items. But it's a pretty cool kit, and I'm really glad that Avon is doing this and offering this opportunity, especially now this time of year. We're getting ready to transition into the fall. It's the biggest selling season of the year for almost everybody. We're talking Black Friday and pre-holiday sales, Thanksgiving sales. Christmas is coming, fall fashion, winter fashion. So there's so many reasons to spend and shop and get gifts for other people. This is really the best time to join. I mean, any time of the year is the best time to join. You just want to get your foot into the door. But like now is a time where you really can't beat it. So I love to see that so many people are getting started with the business. And I've been hearing a lot of representatives who have been adding 70 and 100 and 200 people to their team. So it's so good to see that so many people are coming in, because also for me, the significance of seeing that is a lot of times people will say, oh, nobody wants to sell in Avon anymore. Oh, Avon, I haven't seen a rep in a long time. Avon is not relevant. It's not current, this, that, and the other thing. But if people are adding hundreds of people to their teams at a time, it means that there are still people out there who are looking to be a part of something more, who are looking for extra income, who are looking for the flexibility of having their own businesses, who are interested in becoming beauty bosses, who are interested in having a business where they can stay at home and work for the kids. There are just a multitude of reasons why you would want to be a part of this business, and people are seeing that. People are jumping on the bandwagon. So I'm so glad to so glad to hear these stories and see, for myself and for others, this addition to the company, because more reps are great for all of us. We need to be out there. We need to be promoting. We need to let people know Avon is still around. We're still doing magnificent things. And this is not your great, 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 great grandmother's Avon. This is not Avon from the 70s. This is Avon from 2018. Hot stuff. So, so glad to see that. Congratulations to you, Miss Patty. Anitra said, Miss Anitra, I'm not allowed to wear my curtains. Girl, let me tell you, since I made this idea to start sewing. Okay, first of all, let me rewind a little bit. This is the kind of person I am. My sister is like, I operate on like 2 levels, either not at all or extreme. I don't do middle ground. I am that person that's like, go big or go home in anything that I'm doing. And if I'm doing it, I'm going to do it to the nines. So I just started sewing this summer. I just learned to sew. I was not, I mean, I could, when I was younger, I used to embroider, and if I have a tear on a piece of clothing, I could stitch it. I was that kind of person. I wasn't a sewer per se, but just kind of veering off topic a little bit. But I'll tie this into my win for the week, so we're not losing too much ground. But if you guys remember, Avon was the makeup sponsor for Project Runway season 16 last fall. So September, October, etc. And I was one of the representatives who had a chance to go backstage and go behind the scenes and see the creations that these designers made. And the episode that I had the gift of going behind the scenes to see was season 2, and it was actually one of their they have these, for those of you who haven't watched Project Runway, they have these challenges each episode where the designers are challenged to create something, either for a special occasion, for a special client, a special guest, but in this instance they were to create using recycled material. So it's like a materials challenge where usually the designers are given something weird to work with. And the day that I went there, they were using recycled material. So recycled plastics and cans and newspapers. And I was kind of just blown away to see these people construct a garment out of newspaper. And I remember I got to feel one of the garments and, really get to look at it up close. And it looked like a piece of clothing. And I remember just looking at it and feeling it and just thinking to myself, a minute ago, this was like plastic rings and newspaper. And I just kind of, it resonated with me. So I know that wasn't the reason that Avon sent me there, but in the back of my mind, this sort of interest in sewing got implanted. So um, I learned this summer, I decided to take a class, and I learned and I taught myself through YouTube videos how to sew. So, Miss Anitra, when I say wearing the curtains, I kid you not, I could take these curtains down and make something. As a matter of fact, this outfit that I'm wearing right now, this top, I don't know if you guys can even see it. Let me back up a little bit. But this shirt, it's kind of a loose, like, I don't know, summery kind of thing, but I sewed this myself. Would you believe it? Huh? Huh? Can I get some applause here for a win for the week? Huh? So when I say take the curtains down and wear them, I wouldn't be coming in wearing curtains. I would make it into something. Let me stop now before you guys end up actually having to challenge me to do that because I don't have time to make curtains. It's outfits. But just a long story short, it's sometimes I talk to people about Avon and why when I talk about it, this happens to my face. Because there's so many things that came out of this business or out of being a representative for this business that affected my private life, my social life, my self-esteem, my so many aspects of my life. So outside of just being an Avon representative, which is why I love this company so much. So who would have thought that being an Avon rep would have led to me deciding to learn how to sew and make my own clothing. But I'm getting there. This was literally the first wearable piece of clothing that I ever made, and I just happen to be wearing it today. But I'll be sharing some other things that I've been working on as well. Side note, yes, Patty, we do have the Cruise Like a Boss hats. This past weekend, I was out in the field recruiting, doing a promotional event with one of my teammates, Miss Cordelia. Shout out to Miss Cordelia, who just became a new leader on our team. She just got her first recruit, her first teammate in a while, so she's actually coming back to the leadership program. So kudos to you, Miss Cordelia, for working your business and doing really well with it. Miss Cordelia is out in the field with or without me. And she is promoting her business, growing her business, increasing her sales. And I just wanted to give a shout out to her because I'm seeing what she's doing. But we were out the last week, Thursday, I think. And she was actually wearing the pink hat that we got last year at Redfest because we were in Tennessee and the theme was like the Cowboys and stuff. So Avon gave us pink cowboy hats. So yes, there's plenty of pink to go around. Our Cruise Like a Boss t-shirts, our Vacation Like a Boss t-shirts, our Best Boss I Ever Had t-shirts. I believe all of those t-shirts that I have are pink, plus the plain Avon t-shirts. So I'm looking forward to that activity and I hope you guys are as well. So I incorporated my new sewing habit into my Avon business. It's nice how we can tie those in together, but I'm gonna make that my win for the week. But you guys keep going, keep sharing your wins in the chat box. What I want to talk to you guys about tonight are some of the ways that I incorporate my business into my life. A lot of times people will that I'll meet people and they'll say, I don't have time for that. I need the extra money, I need the extra income, but right now I don't really have the extra time in my life for an additional business. And I get that. When I started Avon, I was a senior in high school. I was getting ready for college. For those of you who have children, who have gone through the college application and discovery and review and visitation process, it can be intense. It's a really intense time for a young adult, and it can also be a time where that's really life changing because there is that transition into adulthood, sort of getting out from being under parent and teachers wings and kind of branching out on your own. This is the time in my life that I decided to become an Avon rep, and I was going into the architecture program, which has a reputation of being a tough one. The dropout rate, we joke about it now, and as a designer and as a person who's seen the importance of support and encouragement and retention through my Avon business. It's not as funny to me as it was back then, but matter of fact, it wasn't funny to me back then either. But we we sort of joke that in our profession, the dropout rate in the freshman class is in the 90s. There are a lot of people who get into the program and leave because of the pressure. So this was the time in my life when I got into my Avon business, and transitioning from high school, going into college, going into this field that just had this notoriety for being really intense and crazy and cutthroat, and it was just a lot. This is the time that I got started in my business, and this is the time where I looked at this business with eyes that I guess other people didn't really understand and people couldn't understand at that time when I shared with them that I was getting into this. But I looked at this business and I saw flexibility. I saw the ability to work it around my life, to work it into my schedule. I was going to have a crazy schedule because I was going to be having classes. Another thing that architects are notorious for in school is doing the all-nighters, the shredding, the being up until midnight, sleeping in school, on desks. I did all of that in college. And I held down my Avon business, and I've also done internships. So I get having a busy schedule, I get having a full plate. I've got women on my team who have families and husbands and jobs and part-time jobs on top of their jobs who are holding their business down. And those are the ladies that I look to for inspiration when I was still in my earlier years, because I said, if this person can hold down a family and a day job and work their business part time, or part time to another part time job, then I could do this in addition to my studies or addition to my internships. And I love that I always talk about our Avon family and how we encourage each other and draw inspiration from each other. But what I looked at was that people, once you decide, you make the decision to succeed in something, regardless of what's on your plate, regardless of what's happening around you, you can do it. You can make it work for you, and you'll find ways to reach your goals regardless of what's happening around you. And you make adjustments and you make allowances for the things that are important to you. So if success is important to you, if your goal, your financial goals, paying off your debt, buying a new house, buying a new car, being able to take time off from work to stay with your family, if those things are important for you, then you make the time. You find the time in your life to do the things that will get you there. And that was one of the things that I realized early on. And I realized that it, looking back now at my life, I say that like I've lived for a long time, but I'm just looking at the past few years, I realized that in my life there was a time where I was learning from my business or my career as an architectural designer and applying that passion and commitment and determination to not quit and not give up to my Avon business. And that kind of kept me going in my Avon business. And I find now that I'm at the point where there are things that I'm learning in my Avon business: how to be a strong leader, how to communicate, how to encourage and support others, how to whatever. I find those things I'm applying to my career as an architect, so as an architectural designer. But there's this exchange of information in my life, and in the same way, there's this fluidity and flexibility in the way that I run my business. So, as a person, as a whole, everything that I do, everything that I learn, everything that I read, I either tie into my business, or the things that I'm reading for my business, I tie into my personal life. And there's been a lot of personal development and personal growth. And it's odd that Miss Anitra, we were having that conversation about the sewing and the curtains. That was totally unplanned, but that was just one example of one of the ways that having an Avon business has affected my personal life. If you guys watched the first, I think it was My Beautiful Stories commercial with Avon, where I had the opportunity um, to share my story with Avon. When I started, before I was an Avon rep, and even in the beginning, the early years of being an Avon rep, I was a super shy person. I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid of having a conversation. I struggled with public speaking. I struggled with private speaking with not even strangers, people that I knew that were outside of my immediate family. I had a hard time talking to anybody that wasn't a sibling or parent. And even as a child, there were moments where I was just sort of living in a bubble, and that bubble didn't burst until I got into my business. So that growth didn't occur until I got out of my comfort zone and started to um, let the things I was learning in my business impact my life. So there is a fluidity and a flexibility in growth, but you have to let it happen. You have to be open to that level of growth. But so in terms of thinking of the time and finding the time to run a business, one of the things that I found is the time that you attribute to your business also has to be very flexible. It's like anything you do in life, it's got to be able to work into your schedule for you to do it, for you to do it regularly, for you to do it consistently. And I always tell my team, and I tell you guys as well, that if you want to be successful, and even Milagros, who is, Avon superstar, if she's saying this, then, believe her because she's been there and done that. So we were talking even last week about building the consistency and doing, creating habits for yourself and for your business that you can repeat and repeat regularly and stick with, because that is where you start to see the growth and the momentum. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a get rich overnight situation. It's, putting the time and effort into doing it regularly. And I find with almost anything, that's where the success comes from. Just putting your nose down and ignoring what everyone around you is telling you, ignoring what is happening around you, ignoring the speed of other people, your own personal speed, and just sort of plowing ahead. And I was so last week we were talking about being consistent and just sticking to it, and we sort of realized that regardless of what you're doing, whether it's trying to lose weight or trying to learn a new language or trying to study, get acquainted with a new job, whatever it is, the best way to learn that is to do it repeatedly, right? So if you're on a diet, the best thing to do is not just starve yourself for a few days and then binge eat, because you'll be fluctuating through this crazy weight gain process. And that's where a lot of eating disorders come from, because people will binge eat and then throw it up, or you know there are all kinds of things, psychological aspects that I don't even pretend to understand, involved with those eating habits. But we know that you should do that. You shouldn't starve yourself during the day and have a huge meal at night. You shouldn't go through these fad diets. These diets come through as crazes where you're eating ice for a month. But what happens? You do that, you lose the weight, you shed the pounds, and then you can't survive off of ice. You either end up in the hospital or you, not to laugh at ending up in the hospital, but I mean, that's the extreme. Something really crazy happens, or you just say, okay, enough is enough. This is crazy. I just want a burger. For me, whenever I do any of those extreme diets, whether it's a fast or a purge, a binge, anything that if it's too extreme, I will, like a pendulum, just swing back to the complete opposite side. I've had moments in the past where I've done diets, and the day after, like 30-day fast, day 31, I was in the McDonald's trying to have a 3/4 pounder, large fries, and a shake. I was that person. So the in terms of eating habits, the things that work best are creating meals that taste good to you, that are easy to make, that are easy to prepare, are readily available. If you have to schlep to Canada every time you want a meal for a special diet, you're not going to keep that up. That's not a diet that's sustainable. So you need to incorporate things that work for you and work for your schedule. Same thing with exercise. If you have to carve out an exercise regimen where you're working out for 3 hours 5 times a day, that's not sustainable, because you've got your work, you've got your studies, you've got your social life. You don't want to live in the gym. Well, most of us don't. I know some of you do, but the majority of us don't want to do that. That's not something that's sustainable. So what do? We look at our schedule and say, okay, look, we've got our little lunch break. We can go for a walk during lunch. We can go to the gym for our lunch break. Or I don't mind getting up half an hour earlier and going for a quick run, coming back and showering before going to work. Or if you're Janet Sides, going for a quick book toss, 4 a.m. in the morning. Those are things that we do. Maybe coming back from work, you pass a gym. So you stop at the gym on your way home, you go to the gym for an hour, and then you go to your house, prepare dinner, hopefully a healthy meal, including Aspira supplements, and then you spend your family time. But the way that we usually find success is by taking small bites, small chunks, not doing a complete overhaul to your diet, but slowly changing the way you eat, changing your eating habits, changing the things that you're eating, the times that you're eating, changing your diet and exercise by adding small amounts of time where you're getting more exercise. Maybe parking at the back of the shopping mall so that you walk all the way to the front and get more exercise. Maybe riding a bike to work as opposed to driving a car. So we take little steps to accomplish our goals. And it's the same thing in business, or it should be the same way in business. Sometimes I find a lot of people who get into this and they're gung ho for all of 35 seconds. And they what happens is they burn out because instead of working their business into their life, they stop their life to focus on their business and only their business and let everything drop. And I find this for myself too. If I find myself, um, fully fledged in the business, letting every other area of my life fall to pieces, what happens? I get to the point where I kind of stop and look around and say, oh crap, I need to clean up the rest of my life. And then I have to back away and deal with the other balls that I let fall out of the sky. But I find for me at least, my business works best when I've worked it into my life, where I built a schedule around working my business, where I've implemented systems into how I communicate with my team, how I communicate with my customers. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I mean, if you're one of my customers and you're watching this, you know for a fact that I've dropped the ball sometimes. But um, it it works better for a longer time when I have a whole system going and I kind of have things carved out. Um, let's see. So Miss Patty in the chat box is saying that one of the reps that signed up on her team today is going to college, and she's also a representative's daughter. I've got some tips for her I will share. Clarita says, hey, oh, no, it's totally fine that you're joining. You're not too late. Um, I'm glad you're getting connected with us before we do Rep Fest. And Miss Patty says she just had another self appointment. So kudos to Miss Patricia, who is kicking butt in the recruiting process. So thank you guys for sharing all of that. Keep the chat box going. I'm keeping an eye on it. Um, so one of the ways that actually, I'm going to share a couple of for ways that I keep my business going and how I can keep it going despite other things that are happening in my life, especially at moments like what's going to be happening this weekend, going to RepFest and really being away, out of my neighborhood, away from my job, out of my usual work atmosphere. So Miss Patty, for your representative who's heading off to college, she might find she yes, daughter. She might find some of these tips really helpful. So, number one, my biggest tool for running my business is honestly my cell phone. Usually, look at this. I was just gonna say it's usually within arm's reach of me. Why? Because everything that I do is on my phone. I've got mobile like talk and text. I've got internet on here, but I've also got a couple of databases that I use that are all digital. So when I take notes, when I have conversations, all of it goes into some sort of digital format so I can access it here on my phone or I can access it on my computer. Plus, Avon has made it super easy, as you guys know, through social media, Avon Social, I should say, youravon.com. All of that is accessible from my phone. So I can meet with the customer, place her order online through my phone. If I have a representative, I can log on to Vibe, which is the tool that we use to manage our teams. I can see my team, see how they're doing, check in on them, pull up their contact information, reach out to them, connect with them, and make notes for what happened in our conversation so that the next time we speak, I can follow up. So for me, my biggest tool is my cell phone because it is, easy to carry, easy to have on hand. I could do a lot of things with this little gadget. I manage my social media through here, my camera, hashtag selfie time. We'll be doing a lot of that in RepFest this weekend. My camera is here. I do have another camera that is a little bit lighter, not lighter than this, but lighter than a like DSLR that I also use to record and take pictures and keep track of my day. But for the most part, most of the images that you see on my social media are from my cell phone camera. So I use my cell phone camera to update my social media. That is how I keep the conversation going about my business. That's how I stay in touch with my teammates, my customers, other representatives, etc., etc. Um, so first and foremost, phone. Another reason my phone is the number one tool for me is because I always just have it at hand. So we were talking earlier about having things that are easy to incorporate into your system. If you are a phone person, most of us are already on our phone, just on the regular. Millennials, people above, you're on social media, you're on your Facebook, you're on your Twitter, you're in your email. Why not connect that into your business? You can use your social media to promote your business. When I go out, I'm wearing Avon jewelry, Avon nail polish, eyeshadow. There's usually something on me that is Avon. I take a quick picture, I post it to social media. As I said, I've connected to Avon, other Avon representatives in the business, so we talk on social media. Avon has their own Facebook pages on Instagram. Avon is on more social media channels than I am. They actually just started another Instagram page just for representatives. They're going to be following and keeping in touch during RepFest this weekend. So Avon also has a lot of social media activities. So you can, instead of being on your phone, and this is something that I had to sort of train myself to do, but I remember when I first graduated from college, I was on, what was it at the time? Farmville, Bejeweled. I was always playing these, games on social media. And then I said to myself one day, I'm spending maybe an hour. I was actually spending more than an hour. But even if it was an hour, I would say, okay, I just spent an hour playing this game. That is an hour that I could have spent promoting my business, taking pictures, editing pictures, posting on social media, engaging in conversation with my customers, with my teammates, with my friends. And I started to um, use the time that I was spending in what I call time wasters in my business and or on building and developing my business and my contacts. Um, so Miss Patricia just said that she had another self appointment. These are people who go online and join your business through, well, now all representatives join online, but someone who goes online, signs themselves up, joins the company. So these are people that Patty can communicate with through her phone, through her social media. Why? Because they registered online. They should probably, most likely, have access to some type of computer, tablet, phone, etc. Um, Another thing that I find really useful, um, while my phone, like if I had to say top 10, my phone would definitely be number one because there's so much that I can do through it. The other thing that is really useful to me is actually still on my phone, but um, for those of you who maybe aren't so much on your phone, it's my calendar. My calendar is on my phone, but I also tie it into a planner that I use. So this database is really helpful for me because it helps me keep track of things that are happening in my life. So usually if you find me dropping the ball, my calendar is not in my purse. When things start getting crazy, it's usually because I've either put my nose too deeply into one of the things that I'm working on and the other things are sort of falling on the back burner. This happens with Avon, this happens with my career, this happens with my social life. And it's better to kind of juggle and have all the balls in the air for a various amount of time than to just hold on to one ball while the other balls drop. And this is something that I'm in the process of learning. But when I have my calendar, it makes it easier for me to do that. So my calendar is actually, this is my planner. This is a planner that I use. I've actually just put it together. Before that, I was using notebooks and guides, but I found that this was something that I wanted to really make mine really change so that it worked better with my system. So again, going back to our initial conversation of creating a system that works for you, that works for how you work, the time you work, your learning processes, and just making it yours so that you'll be more inclined to work with it. So I revamped my calendar and I made it something that I'd be more inclined to work with because I find when I am journaling, when I am planning, when I am keeping track of my goals and keeping track of my appointments, I get better at doing all the things that I need to do while still having a social life, while still doing the things that I enjoy doing in my personal time, reading, sewing, sleeping, etc. So that all comes from my calendar. So, like I said, my digital camera is on my phone. It's also on my computer. It connects to my email. So everything that is happening, all of my communication, I can tie into that calendar. I always tell my friends, if you ask me to do something or go somewhere or meet with you at a certain place and time, if you don't see me put it in my calendar at that moment, or write it down in my planner, don't expect me to come. Like, I'm going to forget, because especially when you have a lot going on, it's harder to keep track of all of those things. And I tell my family and my coworkers, I have limited attic space, so it's got to go down somewhere, because if it's floating around up here, it will float away. It doesn't. There's no room up there for stuff. So a tool to help me keep my sanity is my calendar. I've also shared a post on my blog on how I've sort of blocked out my calendar so that I've maximized the amount of time that I do have in my schedule. But really keeping a calendar and sticking to it, putting it in a place where you can see it and you're reminded of it, is key. So when I open my phone, right on the homepage, I have my day. I actually use Google Calendar. It's built into my phone. Like I said, it's connected to my email. But as my day goes by, all of my activities and my events for the day just kind of roll up. So whenever I open my phone, which is already in my hand, because I'm checking it for social media and other events, except for Sundays, that is like the day where my phone just disappears. It is what it is. Um, Usually when I'm on my phone, I'll see my little activities come up in my calendar. The other thing I like to do is set alerts. The alerts are really helpful to remind you of what you need to do, because sometimes, like I said, my phone might be down somewhere, maybe not pointing upwards. The alerts help me because I usually have on my headset. My headset will vibrate, my phone will vibrate or ping or make a sound to attract my attention to it, so that I can see what I have to do at that moment in time. So it's less likely for me to forget things, because I have scheduled things in my calendar, written them in my planner, but when the time came for it, I just completely forgot because there was no alert to remind me. Don't expect yourself, or don't put that pressure on yourself to have to remember everything. There are so many tools available to you now, between technology and a variety of devices, paper, notebooks, planners. There are even apps that you can download or incorporate into your phone or your computer that will remind you. I had a friend who used to have a little service where they would call, because the pings and the alerts got to the point where they were just not paying attention to them. So they would need a physical phone call for someone to dial them and say, hey, you're supposed to do this or be in this place. Whatever it is for you, there are so many things that are out there. Find what works for you. And you might have to experiment with it a little bit. It took me a long time to get my calendar in a way that works for me, and I'm still tweaking, because as my life changes, as my activities change, as my schedule changes, I might need to change my calendar as well. So my calendar is also really helpful. The other activity, again, I've tied it into my phone, is my social media. I use Facebook a lot to keep in touch with my teammates, with my customers. We have a Facebook group for my customers, but I'm also friends with a lot of my customers on Facebook. So even when I'm away at events like Breakfast, or a leadership planning activity, or if I'm on vacation where I'm out of my house, or even just a regular day, I don't really get home until later. So when I'm out at work, I can be following up with my team, reaching out to customers, updating my social media, all on, you know, on the way to my activities, whether it's 15 minutes waiting for the train, in the car, not while I'm driving. I do not text and drive, but if someone else is driving while I'm driving, I can, be updating. But just being connected with other people has really helped me to keep my team going, to stay in touch with my customers while I'm on the go. And it's really helpful to me to know that there is this level of social media, because in the past, a lot of people think Avon is just door to door. You physically have to be there with the person to sit down and have a cup of tea and do a presentation. Sometimes I will get new products and I will do a quick video showing the product, taking a picture of myself using the product, and then I can post it to social media and share with my friends and family. They can see and watch and learn. Right now, this training that we're doing, I do as a training for you guys, Some of you are my teammates who are scattered all across the country, from California to Maine to Florida, all over. Some of you are Avon extended family, again, all over. Sometimes you guys get on here and you'll shout out a place that I've never even heard of. And I even get contacted sometimes from people who are in other countries who might have seen a video and been motivated or encouraged by it. So as social media evolves, the world sort of gets smaller and we can stay in better contact with each other. By using these tools that are at our fingertips. So for me, Facebook is a huge way to stay in touch and stay in contact with people. But we also have Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I use Instagram, I would say probably second to Facebook, and then followed by Twitter. But different people communicate differently. So I find that some people I'm really engaged with on Facebook may not really be on Instagram, but some people on Instagram aren't really that into Facebook. So it's really great to have a variety of tools at your fingertips. Sometimes I'll post the same thing to Instagram and Facebook, and one person will see it on one stream and not the other. So I do want to encourage you. I know some people aren't all into social media, but I do want to encourage you to get into it. And if you are on social media, I want to encourage you to start using it as a business tool and seeing it as not just um, a waste of time or just for entertainment value. Look through your posts, get on your social media, and look through the things that you've shared. You do want to share. It doesn't want to be all your social media doesn't have to be all business all the time. I don't come from that generation where social media pages are solely for business promotion. I see social media pages as social pages. So there are pages where I share things from what's happening in my personal life, but I also share what's business. But I just try to be mindful of keeping it respectful, knowing that the things that I share are being seen by my customers and my teammates as well. But social media does have different filters, so you can sort of filter down who you're sharing with, so that what you're communicating gets to the right people. But for me, Facebook is the tool. So what's that, number three? Another tool, of course, that you guys may not be, for the younger generation, I should say, may not be so in tune with, is what I call snail mail. Mail from USPS, the United States Postal Service. I know we're in the digital age, and as I just shared with you, I am connected to my phone. I am on social media. I 100% get the digital age, but there is like additional value to also being connected old school way. I do feel sometimes that USPS is like second to horse and buggy. It's like just a fraction above that. But think about it. How often do you get like good mail? Mostly, for me at least, I get mostly bills. I get mostly credit cards, solicitations. So to get a postcard or a letter or a catalog that I really want to see, or information from a company I really want to learn about, it sort of stands out even more because I'm like, oh wow, this is new. And we all have that time, hopefully, where we've carved out. I know sometimes my mail piles up on me too, so I get that. But we all take the time to go through our mail, shred the bills, make our payments if we're still getting our bills in the mail. I know some of us aren't, but if we're not, then even more a reason for us to look forward to getting mail. So I also use mail to stay in touch with my teammates and my customers. I mail brochures to my customers, so regardless of where they are in the US, they can still get a catalog from me. And I have customers who look forward to getting their catalog. And I shared with you guys that earlier in the year I was having trouble with my vehicle. Usually I pile all my brochures into the car and I drive it to the post office. Even the guys at my local post office, the post office I like, they were like, "Where are you? Where have you been? We haven't seen you in a while." So even doing those routine things, kind of making that belly to belly contact, putting something physical in people's hands makes a huge difference. So as I was saying earlier in this year, I kind of had a problem with my car and I wasn't able to bring my mailings to the post office. And I had customers calling me like, where are the brochures? What happened? Is everything okay? Because they were looking forward to receiving the brochures and they were used to receiving it regularly. And even the brochures, receiving their brochure in the mail was a form of contact that they were used to. And I had customers who were like, "Are you all right? We didn't get a brochure from you. Is everything okay?" Because we know we normally get a brochure. So it was a way for me to it is a way for me to build and develop relationships and stay in touch with my customers. A lot of times I'll meet up with customers or potential customers out in the field, and they'll say things like, yeah, I used to purchase from someone on my job, but they left or I left and we lost contact. And I tell them, well, I'll be more than happy to connect with you and I would love to stay in connection with you. What's your email? What's your mailing address? That way we could stay in touch. If you change your email or lose your password, you'll get a brochure from me. As a matter of fact, today I just got a call from a customer. Um, she changed her phone number, and in changing her number, she lost my number. We were connected on Facebook at the time, but she said one of the reasons to changing her phone number was there was a system hack. So she kind of lost touch with all of her social media streams. She's in the process of relinking everything. But she said to me, I just got your brochure in the mail and I was so excited because now I have your number again. So she got her brochure, she gave me a call, and we were able to reconnect and stay in touch. So even with the brochures, my customers who live out of state or even in places that are too far for me to deliver to, they can get their brochure and they can order online. So again, leverage. I know it ties back to social media, but leverage the tools that Avon provides for us. Avon provides a free website for us, for our customers to shop and receive their products. And Avon shipping is actually really quite timely. And I've noticed that a lot of my customers, if they order online, they can even get it online faster than if I deliver. And it's all packaged nicely. They appreciate it. So this is a tool that Avon has provided for us. Take advantage of it. The website is there. It's free. Avon pays for it, maintains it, updates it, makes it look beautiful. That is a tool that is available to us as representatives to share with our customers, and for our customers to be able to log in and see all the products and purchase the things that they need, even if they're not directly in physical relation with in a close distance to a representative. Um, so my brochures allow me to stay in touch and keep my relationships going with my representatives. Even if, for example, going away to Rep Fest this weekend, I've already mailed out my brochures. So while I'm away, my customers can call me, text me, DM me, IM me, PM me, all of these instant message methods while I'm away on my phone. So even though I'm not in my house at my computer, I can get my messages on my phone. There are even times where I maybe left my phone at home, but I could still stay in touch with my teammates and my customers through email and social media because of the interchangeability between my phone and my computer. So don't neglect the classic ways of staying in touch. Sometimes I'll send like a random postcard, thinking of you, miss you, how are you doing, to different teammates or different customers. Um, in campaign 13, I mailed out some congratulatory packages to my teammates for their progress to in their sales for President's Club, to tracking towards the $10,000 sales goal. I just decided to put some product and some brochures and a little congratulatory letter in the mail. At the end of the year, I'll also do that for the representatives who have made President's Club, the representatives who have outstanding achievements, and I try to find different things to celebrate. Top new achievers, top new recruiters, different things that I can just celebrate, so I can get the opportunity to recognize a variety of people for different things. I do the same thing with my customers. I'll mail them little packages for holidays and for Christmas. The customers that I see, I'll put together little holiday postcards to mail out to them. Some of my top purchasers I'll mail product to, but all of my customers get a postcard. And I've had in the past my holiday cards that I mail out. I've had a customer, I went to her house maybe in February, so we're talking 2 months after Christmas, and this is my neighborhood. But I went to her house two months after Christmas, and she had in her on her dining table was a little Christmas card that I had sent her. I usually send it with my photo. She had a little Christmas card in her in a little centerpiece in her dining table, and she's like, "Oh, look, I got your card. Here it is. I still have it." I've gone to other customers' houses where they keep all their Christmas cards on a wall, and things like that stand out because a lot of people don't mail cards anymore. And I've had customers tell me, I used to get so many cards for the holidays, and this year your card was the only card that I got. So when people know that you care about them, know that when you show that you remember them, for the holidays and for birthdays and special occasions, they appreciate it. Even Again, going back to social media, sending a birthday text. I love Facebook because it reminds you of birthdays as well, but being able to send someone a birthday shout out is really helpful in keeping contact with that person. So, Miss Patricia, oh, two college students. So proof that young people are interested in Avon. And I bet it's because of the flexibility. There's something about knowing that you're going into a business where you get to be your own boss and set your own hours is alluring. It's empowering. It creates confidence, especially at a time where you're going through change. And yes, Patricia, it is only $10 to start for the time being. So now is the time to join and take advantage of that, because this is not, well, I don't know, maybe, but for now, it's a limited time offer. So it's a good opportunity to jump on that bandwagon. And $10 is something that we can afford. So getting back to tools and materials that I leverage. So last but not least, another tool that I have is belly to belly. When I travel, and whether it's an Avon vacation or family vacation or a work meeting, you guys know I'm a big nerd, so we do Comic Con with my family in the year. So whether it's recreational, family time, business, or Avon time, wherever I go, I'm promoting my business. I love to use sample packs. I don't have any more because I finished them and I need to make more for our upcoming Rep Fest vacation. But I love to use sample packs, which are a little simple packet with my business card, a sample, hence the name sample packs. Um, Milagros calls them bombitas. You might have heard that term used before. It's all basically the concept of putting your contact information in the hands of someone you talk to. So if I go out to eat, if I'm riding the train or the subway, wherever I go, if I connect with someone, if I meet someone, if I like their attitude, if I like what they're wearing, if they smile at me, anything that gives me a reason to want to talk to them and connect with them and develop a relationship, getting to know them either as a customer or a potential teammate. I put my business card in their hand. I love to get in contact with them and receive their information as well. I'm gonna post a picture on my social media, but just the other day I was in Dollar Tree and I found a teeny tiny, like little 2-inch clipboard. That is now what I keep in my purse so that when I talk to people, I can exchange their contact information. I give them a sample pack which has my business card in it. Sometimes it has a little recruiting flyer so that they could see what the business opportunity is about. But then I have my teeny tiny cute little clipboard so that they can also put their contact information, a phone number, an email, some way, some means or method for me to stay in touch. Another thing that I love are, this is my previous clipboard, and I'm just gonna see if I can do this without flashing anyone's information. Let's see if there's a blank one on here. I really love these drawing forms. I talk about these all the time, but this used to be my old clipboard. For my purse, I found one that's even smaller now, so easier for me to travel with. But this is the clipboard that I used to use, but basically it's just big enough to fit this form to get a person's contact information. So they can put their name and their mailing address. If they want to be added to my mailing list to receive a brochure by mail, their phone number or their email. Phone number, great for either phone calls or texting. Again, getting back to my little handy brick here. And they can answer these questions to let me know how best I can service them. If they have a representative already, that is fine. I don't want to steal anybody's customers. I just want to make sure that they're being serviced. If they want to receive a brochure, like I said, I can add them to my mailing list so that they do receive a brochure in the mail. And if they're interested in learning more about making good money with Avon, I can email them or text them some contact information, my contact information, some recruiting information, how to get started information. I can invite them to a webinar or a training. Avon also, again, leveraging the tools that Avon has provided for us. Avon has some really great opportunity intro meetings. I'm actually going to start sharing those a little bit more on social media um, than I have been in the past, because they're really great to allow people to come and learn about the business. So basically you're disseminating information. You want to invite people to come and learn more. You're not beating people over the head. We're not in the business of beating people over the head to drag them into our business. Patty just gave two examples of two people who joined just today because of their interest in the business. Patty didn't drag them in. They're looking for a solution to help them reach their dreams and goals. That's why they came here. So I love the little drawing forms. These are great to keep in your purse. Avon has even smaller ones, but I can't show you without showing contact information. But Avon has these cute little Into the Wind forms. I know you're not really seeing anything here because I've got people's data covered, but just to show you the size of these forms, um, English on one side, Spanish on the other side. That's why I'm like covering weird. Okay, let's see if we can do this. English on one side, Spanish on the other. But these are also great forms where that you can use to collect people's information as you're on the go. So there are so many ways that you can work this business around your life, and I always encourage people to work the business around your life, not your life around the business, because you want it to be sustainable. You want it to you'll go further and last longer in this business if you're not doing this business as a fad anything. You know, like we have the fad diets and the fad exercises. This is not a fad business. This business will work better and take you further if you're in it for the long haul and if you're committed. So in it to win it, so to speak. So the more time you incorporate this business into your life, whether it's setting aside time to send text messages to people while you're on the train, or to make social media posts while you're on your lunch break, or to carve out an hour a day, either during lunch or after work for a beauty power hour, which for me varies, but it might be an hour where I sit down and I just call and follow up with teammates. Well, sorry, it's changed a little. Now my power hours where I call and follow up with either customers or people who express interest in the opportunity. On Fridays, I have what I call follow up Fridays. That's where I reach out to my teammates just to see how they're doing, how things are going, and if they have questions. But those are blocks of time that I've carved out in my calendar just for that. I also have my calendar time blocked out for relaxing and watching TV, preparing my social media posts, my videos, and sometimes, like I said, it gets out of whack. Sometimes it's an interesting dance to keep it all going together, but it works better when I've incorporated it and when I've created a system that works well for me. And that's why I've been encouraging you guys to get a planner and do your calendaring, because it'll help you leverage your tools better. But look at the time that you're spending on social media, whether you're, see if you're playing Candy Crush or Farmville. I don't even know if it's still around, but see how you're spending your time and how you could better utilize your time for building your business. You don't have to be in the business. What is it? Somebody said it a few years ago to me. They said, um, you can work this business part time or full time, but not sometime. You want to create consistency. Whether even if it's just an hour a day, it can make a huge difference. A few weeks ago, I went out. I think it was with Miss Cordelia, um, for just 45 minutes. We just created a 45-minute to an hour prospecting event. Another day, I was early for an appointment, and I said, okay, I've got half an hour. I'm gonna work my business. But it was just really amazing. Patty says she loves Farmville. But it was just really amazing to see how much I can get done in a short burst of time. A couple of Saturdays ago, I went for a book toss. 45 minutes, 200 and something brochures in my neighborhood. I got to connect with my neighbors, find new customers, let them know that Avon is still around, that there is an Avon representative in the area, that I can get them a brochure, that the brochures are still around, that their favorite perfumes and fragrances are still around. And it made a difference for my business, and it made a difference for my customers to find the products that they love so much. So don't feel like you need to commit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to your business. Carve out blocks of time, healthy blocks of time. I would even say, in the same way that, exercising is good for you, but not good for you if you do it 24/7. Your body needs a rest. It needs the time to recuperate. And if you're Georgie, to just not be exercising. In the same way, your business needs time for your family. You want to spend time with your family. Otherwise, they'll hate your business. I know people who are in different careers who just went hard, not necessarily in Avon, but in other careers, who went so hard in their business that their family came to resent the thing that they were working on, because they saw that thing as something that took away their family time. This is a business that you can do with your family. I love when I'm out with representatives and the kids are there handing out brochures. The other day I was talking to this lady, and she was interested in the opportunity. While I was talking to her, her son grabbed a couple of books, turned around, and started handing them out. And I was like, this boy right here, if he was 18 right now, I would sign him up. You need to start this business, because he was just so excited about the potential for his mom. And he could see that she was interested in this business. And he was like, okay, mom's going to do this. Let's do it. So this is something you could do with your family. When I go out, I said to you, when I do my family vacations, I still work my business. When my family goes to Walmart, I have my little basket on my hand, because I know with my family, Walmart is a 2 to 3 hour. The other day we spent 4 hours in Walmart. I know what the situation is. I go with my sample packs as we're going up and down every single aisle. My sister, you know who you are. I talk to the people. I hand them sample packs. I use my little mini clipboard to exchange contact information and stay in touch with these people, whether, regardless of where I am in the US, not just my home state. So this is something that is flexible. This is something that you can work into your life. This is something that you can do with your family, with your spouses, with your boyfriends, with your girlfriends, with your, whatever. Even in my day job, on my way to work, even though I'm going to work as an architectural designer, I wear my Avon button. I have my Avon bag. I've got brochures in my bag. So it's very, very flexible, very, very doable. This is something that you can do with your life. And with the multitude of social media resources, with the tools of people who want to help you, US, UPS, FedEx, all of those people, all of the online databases. I love Dropbox as well, because I can put all my files there and access my computer files when I'm away. All of these things are tools that you can use. Leverage them, work them, make them work for you. And then you will get a chance to move ahead and be successful. It's not about, that quick sprint. This is the slow and steady wins the race type of system. Create something that works for you so that you stick with it and that you move further and faster. So I hope this helps someone. I hope I've kind of sparked ideas in the minds of those of you who are watching. And don't be afraid to share in the chat box. I've been getting a lot of like private secret messages from you guys who are like secretly afraid to share that you're finding motivation or inspiration. We are all here as family. If you've learned something that you thought, every representative knew, I promise you, you're not the only one who had that question, who saw that as an opportunity to learn. And that's why we do this, because there are questions to be answered. There are things that not everyone knows that we're all learning from each other and growing from. So that's why we do this. So I hope that I've sparked something in you guys. I hope you guys are going to go out and calendar and plan and work your business into your life. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to try to be more proactive about sharing videos. It's hard sometimes because you're sometimes focused on the thing that you're doing, but I'm going to work on sharing either video or photos of the things that I'm doing as I'm doing them, to show you how I incorporate my business in my life without just completely pulling myself out of my life to run my business. Although Avon has become a huge part of my business because I love it so much, it doesn't feel like work because I do enjoy it. And I want you guys to enjoy your businesses too, because it's our business. If we're going to work for ourselves, why not make it fun? I always tell that to my team. So once again, if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe so that you'll see all of the new videos that we're having. Little button right here. Just click subscribe, and then anytime we have trainings, you'll get an alert so that you don't have to miss it. Another social media aspect, your YouTube reminds you of when you've got training. Hello, you don't even have to put in your calendar. Click subscribe. YouTube will remind you that we have training. You can come in, learn, share your wins for the week, share with each other, learn from each other, and grow together. So thank you guys all for watching me. I'm looking forward to sharing with you. Oh, so next week, Tuesday, I will still technically be at RepFest. And no, next week I will not be at RepFest. I will be just back from RepFest, jet lagged and all, but I'm sure I will have a ton of stuff to share with you. But if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on my social media. All of my links will be in the comment box below on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I will be sharing stuff that's happening at RepFest all weekend long. So if you haven't followed me yet and you want to see all the great stuff that Avon is doing, if you want to see live videos and behind the scenes and images of what's happening, follow me. I'll do my best to share with you guys. So I know not everybody, even though we encourage you to make it, I know not everyone can make it to our RepFest activity. So I try my best to share what's happening to make you guys feel like you're a part of what's going on. So follow me on my social media, subscribe to my channel, and be sure to stay tuned. I will be back here next Tuesday, I'm pretty sure, with mind-blowing, amazing things. I know I can't wait to hear about what's happening in Campaign 19, but we'll be hearing about that on Friday. But we'll be back next week, Tuesday, to talk about all the great things that are happening that are being planned for the fall from Avon and the results of RepFest 2018. So thank you guys all for watching. Looking forward to hearing for your, oh yeah, just because we're going away from for RepFest doesn't mean that you're off the hook for the wins for the week. Now that we've had this discussion about incorporating your business into your life, I'm expecting some serious, awesome wins from you guys. Not off the hook, even further on the hook. But I'm reeling you guys in slowly but surely. So thank you guys all for watching and joining me. I will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. hopefully. But have a great week, everyone. I will be seeing many of you at RepFest. Flag me down, shout me out. I'll be happy. I'm looking forward to meeting you and getting to connect with you guys in person for a change. So have a great night. Yes, Anitra, thank you. Safe travels to everyone. Travel, arrive safely, and I will see you in Columbus. Have a great day. Well, great night. Great day or night, depending on where you are. Have a great one, guys. See you next week. Bye.